everyone, it's Holly. This is very weird because this is my first video with contacts in and I can't stand looking at myself. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I feel like I look extra bald without glasses. Is that weird? I don't know, maybe. So just like I did with Enchantment, I wanted to do a video talking about Harmonious in general, which we'll get to at the end. But I also wanted to talk about my experience with the Harmonious dinner package. I did it in March of 2022 at Spice Road Table with my dad on a recent father-daughter trip. And so I thought I would talk about it. So if you are wondering, I have no notes. I don't know where they went. I'm leaving for vacation in a few days and life is crazy right now. I'm also trying not to tip this one off. He's going to his grandma's house. He likes it there. He just is difficult about getting in the carrier. Anyways, so the Harmonious dinner package is offered at 2 restaurants. There is one at Rose and Crown in the UK pavilion, and then there is one at Spice Road Table in the Morocco pavilion. From what I have seen, the Rose and Crown one is definitely harder to get. That is where we wanted to eat because we've eaten there before. We like the food there. Both my dad and I are pretty not adventurous eaters. We were definitely a little apprehensive about eating in Morocco. Now, in the last couple of years, my palate has expanded a little bit. So I was cautiously optimistic. We decided to try Spice Road Table and push ourselves. I don't remember the price. I'll try to put it up on the screen. But what you get in addition to eating and then watching Harmonious out on the outdoor patio seating area at Spice Road Table, you get there, it's a tapas style restaurant, so you get small plates and you each get to pick 2 small plates out of I think a list of 7, and then you get dessert tray. And from what we could tell from the people around us, they gave you 1 dessert tray for every 2 people, and then you get drinks as well. So you can get some alcoholic drinks. I think there was a couple beers, there was sangria, I think there was something else. I can't remember if my dad got a beer here or not, but I just got iced tea. I thought about trying the mint tea, kind of wish I had, but I wasn't sure if it was something I'd want to drink a ton of, and I was definitely trying to drink a lot of water and everything, so whatever. But I like a mint tea, so I would have gotten it. I think you can get it chilled. The seating area, it's that outdoor seating. It's kind of roped off. There are 2 rows of tables. There are 4 tops and 4 2 tops, and the 4 tops are the first row, and then the 2 tops are the second row, so we were the second row. And there are columns, so you are blocked. Your view is not perfect. I think it's really hard. What is a perfect view for Harmonious? I don't know. And then there's actually, we were on the edge, our table was at the end, which in some ways was nice, but right next to us was a little teeny tiny alcove, and that seemed to be a very popular spot to watch Harmonious because people went in there. Actually, I think it probably is a really good spot to watch Harmonious, but only a couple people can fit right up at the front. Maybe I'll try to sit there on my next trip. I don't know. But so you do have people around there, and they do lower the lights when you're watching it. So back to the food. You get seated. Also, there's only 1 seating for this because obviously they need you to be seated. I've heard people say it is rushed. I would say it is a little. I think dinner started at 9 and Harmonious was at 9:30 or something, or maybe we got seated at 8:30 and Harmonious was at 9. So they do rush you a little bit. So it is a little fast. I only remember 1 waiter. There might have been 2. I remember the guy that took care of us, and he was booking it, but I never felt like he was actually rushing us. And at one point my dad asked him a question and he stopped and he answered it, and he was he didn't seem inconvenienced by having to stop and do that. I also don't know how much are they short staffed, and that's why they're kind of running around a lot. I don't know. So it is a faster paced meal than some people are probably used to, but I didn't find it too rushed or anything. Basically, we got our desserts like a little bit before Harmonious, so we were kind of still picking at them when the show started. But to me, that works. So we got seated, we picked our options. My dad and I purposely picked different small plates so that we could share, and that is what we did. We shared everything. A lot of stuff had very similar flavors, seasoning wise. I think there was like a sauce on a lot of the vegetables, and I didn't mind it, but eventually it just became too much. It was definitely dilly, which I like dill, but you can have too much of it. But there was something else to it too. I think something had a very strong vinegar flavor, which again, I like vinegar, but you can have too much of it. My dad is not a big fan of either of those flavors, but we tried everything. There were these cheese, the waiter even told me how to say it and I still can't remember. I'll put up the name of it up here, and I'll insert like videos and pictures and stuff. Those were amazing. I loved them, would go back just for those. And then we got the chicken dish, which I actually really liked that as well. I thought it was flavored well, it was cooked well. We got the hummus plate, which was good, but there was a lot of hummus for the amount of like things you could dip in it. I think it came with like a naan bread or some sort of bread that was very good as well. That one was a good dish. It's just we wanted more like vegetables or bread to dip in the hummus because there was so much left over. And then for dessert was probably, other than those cheese things, was probably our favorite part. Both of us loved every dessert. They were so good. There was a lot of them, but they weren't too heavy. I was a little worried, some of them, looking at them thinking they might be too heavy, too sweet. We didn't feel that way at all. I think it helps that the entree part is a little lighter, and so you're not as full when you get to the dessert. I definitely think you could come out of this thinking you didn't get enough food, depending on how you categorize like value for money. It is a lot. I think it was good. I do wish we had had more people so we could have gotten more, like tried more dishes, but also had more food to share. We would have gotten additional desserts. That would have been nice. And obviously if you choose to drink like the sangria, it's bottomless just like any other beverage, so you can definitely make that worth it for you. There was 2 couples at a table next to us, and I think the one woman there, she tried like every alcoholic beverage. Every time he came, she just asked for a different one, and I think that's a perfectly good way to try different drinks, because I think they have like a red sangria and a white sangria, and then they have some other stuff. So you can do that and everything. Like I said, I think our waiter, he was great. He was moving fast, but he was great. He was attentive when we needed him to be, and we were happy to have him serve us. Of course, I'm always a big fan of having people from the country actually working at the restaurants and everything, and at this point, Murphy, stop. They were not, but so happy to have the waiter we had. So like I said a little bit earlier, the view for Harmonious is a little blocked. From what I remember, you couldn't see a ton of the, we call it the Stargate. I guess a lot of people say like Thanos' ship. I have not seen like the later Avenger movies, so I have no comment on that, but to me, it's the Stargate. It looks like a Stargate, I'm sorry. So, but you couldn't really see that. But you could see some of the like wavy fan things, and you could see the fireworks and everything, but obviously you are a little covered. I think it would have been nice to be at one of the 4 tops, but obviously as a twosome, that wasn't gonna happen for us. It was good. And it's nice to not have to like try and find a spot and potentially do that earlier, but it's definitely not like the best viewing I think you can ever get of Harmonious. So yes, I would do it again. I definitely would love to try the rose and crown one. And I can see myself going back to Spice Red Table. I wasn't sure I would ever eat there, but I definitely think I would eat there again now. It's not going to be something I want to do every trip, but I will definitely consider it in the future, especially if I go with somebody else. I know like my stepmom is a big hummus fan. She would probably love the hummus fries. We didn't get those because neither my dad nor I are huge hummus fans. Like, we'll eat hummus, but we don't love it. So that didn't seem like up our alley or anything. I think my stepmom might like it a little bit more. So maybe if we go on a trip with her, we could do it. And I think you can definitely get a little bit more adventurous food here. It's also kind of nice with the small plates in general, whether you're eating for the dinner package or just a general meal, because then you can try more things. Maybe it's a little lighter, so it's not sitting with you the whole time. Now, let's talk about Harmonious. It's been out for several months now. Several months, like 9, probably 6, 9, I don't know. Time is a blur. Just like with Enchantment, I chose to not watch anything before, like any footage of the show before seeing it in person. I did hear people's commentary, both in Facebook groups, and then of course I watch content creators on YouTube. So I definitely heard opinions from people on like All Ears, the Tim Tracker, stuff like that. Going in, I have since seen Harmonious twice. I saw it outside of the Italy Pavilion in December, and then I saw it at Spice Red Table in March. So I feel like I can offer my opinion now. As additional background, I went in, oh, I forgot Epcot Forever even existed for a minute. Oh my gosh. So going into the ending of Illuminations, I thought Illuminations needed to go. Not needed to go. I would have been okay with just like an update, but just I was over Illuminations. I didn't feel the need to see it every time. I kind of liked that I didn't feel the need to see it, because then like I could use that time to go do attractions and stuff. But I definitely felt like Illuminations needed a refresh. I love the idea of Illuminations. I love like Tapestry of Nations. That music is amazing and moves me. And Illuminations gives me very similar vibes. Makes sense. They came out around like from like the same concept, I feel like. And I love the idea of the countries coming together. And I like the globe and everything. Yeah, it can get boring, but I like it. Epcot Forever, I did not like at all. I saw it once. It felt like an afterthought. I think it was. Don't think it was anybody's favorite. So I didn't really have an emotional attachment to Illuminations the way I do to Enchant or to Happily Ever After or Wishes or Fantasmic. Fantasmic is my favorite. So I didn't come into Harmonious like with this vendetta of it replacing like my favorite nighttime show. So if you think that that sways my opinion, feel free to think that. So I went into Harmonious for my first viewing in December. We didn't know what we were doing, and we just walked out of Via Napoli and it was starting and we watched it. And I loved it. I was very moved, very like attached to it. I loved the idea of doing these songs, but singing them in different language. They're the songs we know, but doing them in different languages to unite the world and World Showcase and show this commonality that we have. I think that's a great idea. I just found myself very connected to it. I think ending with Someday is excellent choices. It is still hard for me to see the projections. I still haven't really seen the Stargate full on, and I know some people say like that's how you have to see it. So I may try to do that in June. So really all I've had a ton of experience with are like the little fan wing things on the side. But I've enjoyed them. I love the fireworks. The music is really, really good to me. I liked it a smidgen less my second time seeing it. I don't know if that was the view, if it was me, who knows. Still really enjoyed it. I don't think it's going to be a must do, but most nighttime shows for me are not a must do on every trip. But if like you were going on a trip once in a lifetime, I would say go. The disappointing part, this is such a minor thing, but both my dad and I are so upset about this. Our like favorite part of Illuminations, because you know they have like the torches up, which they have for Harmonious, so I feel very wronged that they aren't doing this. And then they have the narrator come on in Illuminations, which that man's voice just like does kind of give me chills. And then they go and blow out the torches, and then you hear in Illuminations. The blowing out of the torch part is like my favorite part of Illuminations, and my dad and I were really bummed that it's not in Harmonious. Again, it's such a minor thing, but we really wish it was there. I don't know. Yeah, those are my rambly thoughts on the Spice Red Table dining package and Harmonious in general. If you have like your go-to spot for viewing Harmonious, let me know, because I feel like there's a lot of conflicting opinions on this. I would really appreciate it. And I'm staying at the Riviera in June, so I think I'm going to try to also watch it from my room. Hopefully I'll have a view. I'm staying in a tower studio, so I think I'll be able to. Thank you so much for watching. Murphy and I both appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Bye!